There it go.
There you go.
Can I move this?
What?
I just moved it a little closer.
Oh.
Doobie doobie doo. Yeah, okay, Hov.
Make sure. I know it should be working, but make sure. Almost put Lola Brand. Jesus. Let's see. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Something ain't right. It's showing playing on YouTube, on TV. Oh, but jeez. I want it on this phone. There we go. Something ain't right. There we go. All right. Let's see. Oop. All right. What? Don't listen. Don't judge me.
Oh, happy anniversary to you both, and many more to you. Thank you, already.
I don't even see are the captions going?
Did you change anything?
I didn't.
Oh, but you don't see them on your phone.
I don't see them on my phone.
Do you have captions turned
Hold on.
on?
You know what? I didn't.
La, 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 la.
I was.
And there they go. I see them.
And there
now.
they go.
Perfect.
I'm some kind of special. All right. So let's pop this out like we did last time. Do we now that pop out? That way we can see what's going on. Yeah, all right. Now we're good. And then I need to make that a bit bigger because I'm blind. I can't see nothing. Don't judge me.
Don't judge me.
Don't wait.
I'm streaming.
I'm streaming.
Ooh.
Well, good evening, Mrs. Colvin, and good evening, world. How's everybody doing? What?
Nothing. Nothing.
Which one do you prefer? Because this is what they're actually seeing. This is the studio right here this is the studio. So this is actually 30 seconds.
There's a delay.
Right? Well, no, yeah. This is delayed. This is live. So it's like a 30-second delay. You don't care? All right, my girl.
I don't care.
So we'll do it this way. And we'll do it that
way.
I
don't care at all.
And this is
you like that song?
Focus.
It's called I Don't Care at All. Want to hear it again?
No, I'm good.
I don't care at all about the screens. What did you press? I should have had headphones. What did you press? What did you press?
That was sad trombone.
Anyway, so this is pretty impromptu. We didn't really put the word out and say we were going live. Just
sure didn't.
Decided to jump on and see what happens.
Although early I was doing some testing to try to do the multi-stream thing, and Yvonne from Detroit and Amy jumped on.
Oh,
and said hi. Amy Besson.
Okay, Amy. So, what are we even doing here? Why are we here?
You said you wanted to go live.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
I certainly did not. Well, what does your shirt say? Let me see.
Oh. There we go.
The good thing about science is that it's true whether or not you believe in it.
That's it.
That's a good shirt. Hi, Deb.
You got this for me. So this was supposed to be what, my birthday gift or Christmas gift? What was it? The going to see Dr. Tyson.
That was in February.
Mhm.
It wasn't. I don't think it was a. It was. I don't know. It was a gift for something. Thank you, Deb. Yeah, and I got you a shirt. Lola bought you that shirt. Actually, it had nothing to do.
Oh no, this was
Lola.
yeah.
Lola went to. We took her to the Museum of Natural History. Yeah. Um. Yeah, American Museum of Natural History, and she bought that home for you.
Yeah, that's right. Now I remember.
Yeah.
All right, people starting to show up. What's going on?
Hi. Do you want to see? Why you didn't ask about my sweatshirt?
What does your sweatshirt say? I'm actually not funny. I'm just really mean, and people think I'm joking.
You like it?
Yeah, it's a great shirt.
And it's true. Shout out to my Aquariuses. This is definitely an Aquarius type shirt.
Y'all have a different kind of energy, though.
What kind of energy do Aquariuses have?
Y'all have a very different kind of energy. Like, so there's a January Aquarius energy,
and there's a February
Aquarius energy. You born in January, obviously, right?
I'm on the cusp, though. I'm right.
You are. You borderline. You borderline, but y'all have this altruistic sense of things.
You love to throw that altruistic.
I love
altruistic. That word. Hi, Catherine. I love Sarah. So, what's today? Why are we here?
Today's our anniversary. 13 years and count.
Feels a little longer.
A little bit. I like you, though.
It's contract negotiation day.
Contract negotiation day.
Contract negotiation day. Every year it comes up and you say, all right, we did another year. Do we want to move forward with the business that we've been doing the past?
Are there going to be any...
Yes.
Any updates to the contract?
Updates to the contract. Do we need to take some things out? Do we need to add some things? Or are we going to set this contract on fire? That's contract negotiation day.
That happens.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened with us. But, we know that.
Listen, when Jimmy asked me to marry him, Jimmy said, what are you doing for the next 60 years? That's what you said to me. That was 13 years ago, right?
So we have 47
so we have 47 years left.
47 years.
I am 43. 47 more years, I will be 90.
Yeah.
I'm out.
You out at 90?
At 90. You said 60 years. I didn't sign up for 61. I didn't sign up for a day over 60. So at 90, I'm out of here. I'm going to be dating again. See what.
So how about on one of these anniversaries, what if I were to renegotiate?
I don't want to negotiate. 60 that's a good number, good round number. 90, I can, see what else the world has to offer me.
Okay.
You said 60. That's all. Why you should have said forever. What are you doing for the rest of your life?
Listen, I thought
you didn't say that. You put a number on it. We're sticking to it.
I did. I thought it would be a little smooth to say that, but also it was one of those things I was inferring that we'd be together forever.
Oh, well, you shouldn't infer with an Aquarius. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. You said 60. At 90, at 90, I'll probably be reading the Bible and cramming for finals. So I'd do like Christian mingle. I'd probably do like Christian mingle. Find me a nice.
Wait, what the fuck? What are you cramming? What are we talking about, yo? What are you talking about cramming?
If I'm 90, what is the average lifespan of a human?
About 75.
Okay, so if I'm 90, I'm going to be reading the Bible and cramming for finals.
So you think that at the end days, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of your days,
I
that
can.
you could just pick up the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get Cliff Notes or something like that, or you just go on what what's
I
that
mean, I
gonna
get
look
the
like?
gist of it. I've read, a few chapters here and there, so I have an idea of what it's about, right? I'm not. I've never. So I shouldn't even say cram for finals. Just like a little review, because I've never had to like. I've never been one to have to like study. I could just walk in on the day of the test and ace it. So I might even do that. I might not even cram for finals. I just close my eyes one day, don't wake up, and be where I need to be. You know. I think I've done enough good in my life to
I don't debate that.
reserve me a seat.
I don't debate that you've done good in your life. I don't.
Yeah. I'll just say Maddie saved me a seat. Because I'm sure she did. Maybe. Maddie saved me a seat. We had a reservation. My party's already here. Cruz family. Oh, you know what they might say? At the wrong restaurant. They're at Poblano's eating spicy food downstairs. Listen, anyway, hi. Hello. Yeah, pretty impromptu. Thought we'd go live and
I was trying to do the multi-stream.
Yeah.
Instagram. They have a long way to go in terms of getting their technology worked out so it can support more outputs, because I bought it up and it looked like I was just on the phone.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So they got more work to do.
47 more at least. No, 47 more. That's it, Tim. At least, no, 47, and that's it. I'll honor the 60, and then I'm out. Go see what Idris is doing at 90. He's older than me. Shit, he'd be like 102.
Yeah, Idris be going by that.
I bet you he'd still be fine at 102. But anyway, all kidding aside, just thought it was our anniversary. We'd go live and share a little of our history. A lot of people...
Because otherwise we'd have been on our way back from... No, we wouldn't even be on our way back.
Mm-hmm.
We would have left tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe give a little history on how this union came to be. Especially
those that don't necessarily follow us on the gram, because we've mentioned our origin story quite a bit on the gram.
His origin story, my villain story is his origin story. But go ahead, my villain origin story.
That wasn't villain origin story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but fun times.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
So for those, this is serve as some content, some additional content that we'll put on YouTube for those that never knew how we got together.
And how we got to where we are today. Your
daughter?
She's fine either way. Whatever.
So
picture it. Sicily. Go ahead.
I ain't never been to Sicily in my life. But all kidding aside, so this was 2010. And the both of us, I guess, were on a trajectory. Sort of different trajectories. Now, it probably wasn't even different trajectories. How would you define it?
What do you mean? In terms of
where we were in our separate lives?
I don't necessarily know where you were.
That's what I'm saying.
I know I was fucking fabulous. I was a single girl, late 20s, early 30s,
No, late 20s.
right?
You were
Well,
29.
yeah, I was 29. Yeah, late 20s. Ain't had no kids. I didn't have no real bills because I was living with my mama. Living with my mama. And Mussy said, 29, you really should be on your own. But that's
New
not
York
how
City,
it works
fam.
in a lot of families, especially, uh, I guess, Hispanic homes. Like, you live at home till you get married. That's kind of old school, but yeah, no, I was working and dating, breaking hearts and wallets. No, I was chilling. I was just chilling.
I was on the tail end of my, well, not tail end. Well, I get the official tail end because, like, I had been separated from my former spouse for quite some time before it finalized in that July 2010. But nah, I remember because it was May when we first chatted, right? Because it was Memorial Day weekend. Because you went out to Miami. So, oh man, woo, I ain't gonna talk about that part. But leading up to that part, I made some changes. I made some mental note because I just turned 30 that month, and I was like, you know what? I got to do some different things with my life now that I'm 30. Because let me tell you, my 20s, I was a different beast.
Anyway, we don't have to go into details.
We don't have to go into details about how much of a different beast I was. But I made the decision to say, you know what?
Disgusting.
If I want better in my life, I need to do better in my life. So I just started cutting a lot of people off and like really doing different things. And part of that whole thing was, you know what? I wasn't opposed to a relationship. I definitely wasn't, I wasn't thinking marriage whatsoever. I was thinking probably, find somebody, relationship, yeah, all right, cool, whatever. But it wasn't forefront of my mind. So here comes the end of May. And we were on a mutual friend's Facebook post.
Mutual acquaintance.
Acquaintance.
I don't have friends, but go ahead.
And the topic of music came up. And it was almost like Battle of the Beats. Because
I won. Go ahead.
She did win. I'd play something, she'd play something. I'd come back, she'd, go over the we were going back and forth. Just different types of music, different things that we enjoyed. And then, we kind of took our show to the side and just kind of
he slid into my messenger, into my DMs,
and we decided, let's chat a little bit. I enjoyed, the conversation that her and I were having. Very appealing, and it became more than just talking about music. We started talking about life, and I was like, this lady's different. She's not. She's not what she appears to be.
Hold on. Right. Hold up. Wait. What did I appear to be?
No. So okay.
Oh shit! I don't know. Wait. I have to ask that question. Wait, I didn't even like the way he said okay.
No, because remember the picture that you had.
What? Tell me what I appeared to be.
No, I mean, so maybe I worded that wrong, but it was more or less one of those things where, not saying don't judge books by their cover or what have you, but like, so what pulled me in?
Go ahead,
But
do
what-
pose by the bookshelf.
what
so
drew me in?
This is what drew you in. Please tell me.
A silhouette.
My silhouette. Okay.
See it? You were on the wall, right? And see, because you got a nice rumpus, and she was on it like this, had the thigh up. Right?
No, I had on heels.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you had the thigh
Mhm.
up like this, and you had the heels on, is what I'm saying. It was like this. I was like, this is a nice, attractive young lady here. Let's see what more we can see what more we could discover about her.
Okay, but what was that? Like, what image? Like, I don't understand. Like, you said, there's more to her than what it appeared.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause there
But
wasn't
all
really...
it was a picture.
I'm a dude, so there's other things.
But okay, but what did that picture say to you aside from the obvious that made you think like I wasn't?
No, it wasn't a thing of you weren't something.
Okay,
It was just
you just thought I was an ass, like a booty.
not necessarily so.
You can be honest.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily so though.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
But beyond that, it was just like, yeah, let's have some conversation, and the conversation led to, she's a
pimp. P-I-M-P.
She's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the conversation, and I kept enjoying the conversation because I think we chatted to the wee hours. We chatted to about 3-4 o'clock.
Then I had to get on the aeroplane.
And she had to get on an aeroplane
and go to Miami.
And she went to Miami, and I, chilled. I don't think we spoke the rest of the weekend, and then you came back from Miami, and we picked back up and started chatting.
And that is when we discovered school. That we went to the same school. And had no idea.
Well, I think we probably discovered that. No, yeah.
Because I didn't know who you were. You could have been like their friend from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's when the conversation started to get a little bit deeper into our own lives. In terms of, so beyond what we talked about, what else is going on? And yeah, that's when we started to
we went to the same elementary school. Same middle school. We were a year apart. He was one grade above me, but we had the same circle of friends.
Yes. Acquaintances.
I ain't got no friends. We had the same circle of acquaintances, and I mean really close. Even grew up somewhat in the same area, neighborhoodish, because I was on White Plains over by the west or whatever. Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
And we realized, wait a minute. And I'm like, how is that possible that we were that close?
Literally that close.
For over a decade.
More than that. Well, you talking about while we were in school?
Yeah. And
school age.
I had no idea the other existed, but then I figured it out because I had saw some pictures of him when he was younger. And he hadn't grown into his head yet. He looked like a little teeny worm. He was very, very, what were you? How tall were you? 5?
Back then?
I mean, yeah, when you, 5 what? 5'10", 5'11", 5'10"?
Now? I'm 5'11" now.
So you were in middle school, high school, what?
Probably 5'6", maybe.
And weighed
120. If that. I was slender.
He was a little fella.
I was very slender.
So he was very easy to miss.
Yeah. Wasn't yeah. I was very unremarkable.
I didn't say that.
No, I'd say it.
I don't want to say that.
I was very unremarkable.
That, there were people who thought you were very remarkable. I'm just saying why I didn't notice you.
No, but I'll say it. I like you said, I had a big old head
and a little old body.
Right. I have a hernia right, in my belly button.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very self-conscious
About your
about
hernia?
that growing up. So like, imagine, me bad skinny, pot belly, because I always had a little pot belly,
I never.
and I had my little poke out, and people used to call it a little, penis.
We didn't ask for this information.
No, but that's what it. That's I'm just telling you about
But
this.
we
I was
didn't
self-conscious about that because people used to talk shit about my belly button.
You have an Audi.
Yeah.
But it's not like.
But when I was skinny,
Mm-hmm.
it protruded out a little bit further.
Like Total Recall.
Yeah.
Double.
That's not double.
That's not double.
Yeah, no, that's a Kato.
Kato. No, but we didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other at all.
We did not know each other. So that was pretty interesting to
start to learn the dynamics of how close yet far apart
we were. And how we didn't come across each other until I was 29 and he was 30.
Yeah.
And by then he had grew into his head. He was taller.
I had some things going on about myself.
He was a pretty handsome fella. So yeah.
I was a little accomplished at that point. I had my own house already. I was a homeowner. Like that was the previous year.
Veteran.
I had a great job. I was traveling. I was all right. I presented very well.
Remember that.
Because
we're gonna circle back. He presented.
I presented. And that's why I articulated it that way.
He presented.
I presented very well. I am who I am.
I didn't present. I am still very much.
I'm still very much who I was when we. Yes, I am. I'm very much who I was.
Your core person?
Yeah.
Yes. But no, there were some things that.
Representative?
Yeah, your representative showed up. Yeah. And then you got the job and you was like, hi. And then you got tenure and you was like, fuck it. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, we got married, right?
Oh wait, we skipped over a whole.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We skipped over a whole thing there.
Oh, we went on our first date.
We went even before that because so you gotta figure. We started chatting May, and we started having conversations June through July.
Mm-hmm.
And even in those conversations, we still weren't a couple. We were just chatting. We were just friends.
We were friends.
And I was so comfortable with her as a friend. I used to tell her damn near everything about things that were going on in my life. Right? And she would just sit there and she would take it in. And, we'd riff back and forth about some things and all of that stuff. But like, she was a really, really, really good friend, really good listener. And that was something that I really didn't seek from lady folk in that time in my life. No, no. And then like something flipped, and I don't really even know what it was, but something flipped to where it became one of those things of I'm starting to dig her a lot more than just her being my friend and just, sharing all of these intimate details about my life without wanting to grow with her. I don't even recall what it was, but I do recall something of the conversation where
I had to gather you together because
I guess she was waiting for me to shit or get off the pot or something like that.
Not even necessarily shit or get off the pot, but you just needed to recognize. I was waiting for you to sort of like walk into your power, if that makes sense. Because you were very. What's the word I'm looking for? You just didn't realize who you were, what you were capable of. It almost felt like there was a period there where you were like, nah, she wouldn't date me, or she would never, like, that's how you came across. Like you weren't good enough for me, or like she don't dig guys like me.
Because it part of the reason for that
Oh God.
is because of all of the shit that I shared with you.
Oh, so you thought because you told me all of that stuff that I wouldn't.
Yeah, like you don't want to fuck with nobody like me.
Oh.
Like, cause listen, she knew I wasn't shit before I wasn't shit. Like, you know, to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I think as she's saying, right, I think she realized, well, no, he's a very honest individual,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in a different part of his life prior to us chatting. So I guess she really gave me the benefit of the doubt in the early days of our relationship. Let's call it relationship because it's a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Friendship turn into, you know, more than just being friends, right? And yeah, so when she gathered me up and let me know,
buddy, I got shit to do. Okay.
And I was just like, oh, so in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, this is my cue to be like, oh, okay, so you want to do this. So I was like, all right. So the frequency of conversations increased. The content of our conversations definitely started to change in terms of, you know, not just what have you done, but what are you trying to do?
Yep. Future plans.
And, you know, it came to a point to where I was like, you know what? I wasn't really wanting anything, but it's obvious that this is who I really need to be with in my life, because we started out as actual friends, not wanting anything beyond that from one another, and then we just organically, you know, evolved to the point where it's like, oh, I'm smitten. I'm a little bit taken by this woman, and that's when I was like, hey, what you doing for the next 60 years?
Well, no, okay. He came for a visit and we went on a date.
No. That was after.
Oh, okay.
That was after, because that was in November of 2010.
Oh, okay.
We had this conversation like September, October, because, and the only reason why I recall all of this is because you actually was trying to break up with me prior to that first date.
They're like, break up before your first date. Long distance dating. Yeah. Listen. And yeah, I was. But, you know.
I don't know.
Cold feet. Come on, I'm a single girly in New York. No children. And I knew that I would compromise. I was horrible with compromise. And it's like, wait a minute. Bitch, did you just rope yourself into something that you're gonna have to compromise and do all of these things? And so a little bit of cold feet, a little bit, but I got over it.
And I'm glad that she got over it, right? Because it all worked out, because I just so happened to be teaching a class in Jersey. Yeah, I was teaching a class in Jersey. So this is November, let's say mid-November. This all went down, and I was gonna be up there for 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be up there. There's a perfect opportunity for us to spend some time together, right? In the physical, in all of that stuff. So we were making plans, and then the initial plans fell through because of cold feet, as you mentioned. And I ain't gonna lie, I was actually heartbroken.
Oh, you were sad?
What?
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I thought I did. I was flabbergasted. I was like, yo.
Wait, you were flabbergasted?
Yeah, like, yo, it was like, yo, we been vibing, because, like, we used to ooh all the time.
Skype. Oh, my God.
like wee hours in the morning, just every day. So I used to call her every day at 4:30 because I knew that that was the time that she was getting off. And I also used to call her every morning on her way to work. So
Mhm.
we would talk, pretty regularly and talk for hours. And it wasn't like we didn't have anything to talk, not to talk about. We always had something to talk about. Like it was always a very engaging conversation. Even when we was bullshitting with each other, it was still like, oh, this is fun conversation. Like this is my person. This is my baby. I loved her, right? Love her. I mean, loved. Like I don't love you anymore.
I don't love you anymore. Look at it.
But yeah, so that was that. In fact, that was the first weekend I was up there that she had canceled on me,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was just like, oh shit. So I was talking to her all that week, not even all that week, because like there was a point to where it was like, do I even get back in touch with her? And I was like, yeah, dummy. Like you get back in touch with her because this is it, fam. Like this is I don't think we gonna get any this is it. Like mm-mm. So, we had a couple of conversations and she I relented and then she said, okay, that's I'm fine with me. So I don't even think I had to teach that Friday. So I wound up driving out to the Bronx. I got me a nice fresh cut. I had on my Rockaway, everything. Those are the days I had my Rockaway out. Yo, listen, I had on my red Rockaway sweater. I had on a red, black, and
Plaid,
beige
yeah.
plaid Rockaway shirt. My black Rockaway jeans. I had on a black Rockaway jacket and black Timbs. And that's when I had a little bit of hair. So you know what I'm saying. I got my joint lined up a little bit. Had my glasses on. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was looking all right that night. It really was debonair.
I had on Air Max, leggings, and a t-shirt with a denim jacket.
But like, I pulled up to our house,
Mm-hmm.
and again, that was the first time we had ever seen each other, and we kissed, and I knew that was like, this is it.
You knew?
What?
I'm just
I mean,
asking.
I knew before that, but
Mhm.
like that, what I'm saying, us seeing each other for the first time and embracing, like that was it.
Okay.
That was it. Like everything looked different, felt different, smelled different at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so we hung out for a few minutes, about an hour,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 hours, and then I had to go do something.
You went to Steppins with your friends, remember?
Oh
'Cause I
yeah,
was
because
like,
I made yeah, because folks has made plans. It was like, hey, let's you want to be here, come hang out. We all drink and chill or whatever. And I told her, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go out to this thing. I really don't want to go no more. I just want to spend. She's like, nah, you made plans with your people,
follow through.
follow through, and that's this very consistent thing throughout our relationship. You made plans, be a
Follow
man of your
through.
word, follow through, right? So I was like, all right. I went out there. She wound up coming a little bit later. And, it's funny how the dynamics of that evening and, you know, really her and we kept our relationship like
Very quiet.
very quiet. Nobody really knew that we were dating. They just, we talk shit all the time, about
Mhm.
things on posts, on these mutual acquaintances posts and things like that. Nobody really had an inkling that, oh, these two are actually together. So she came, um, and then it got to a point in the evening where she gave me the look like, all right.
I'm out of here. What are we doing?
And I was like, all right, I'm out of here too. But I had to, kind of like delay it a little bit. So she left out. I left out like 30 minutes later, so went to go pick her up. Now, the funny part about picking her up was on the ride back to
Jersey.
Jersey. And, granted,
Nobody knew
we were
we
together.
were together.
Right?
Nobody knew. None of our like mutual acquaintances knew.
But let me say this, right? There was a lot of folks, I guess you could say, they were vying for my affection and attention. a lot. Like,
and on the ride to Jersey, one of them, a mutual friend that we were just kind of around, got his number and started sending him text messages, very like flirty. And I couldn't be mad at this person. I couldn't be mad at all. I wasn't mad. I was actually laughing because it was like to see like somebody shooting their shot or like, you know, trying to be like, hey, look at me. Like, it's kind of funny. But yeah, so that was hilarious. Like, one of the people we just left at this friend party hangout thing was texting him, and I was like reading it, and I'm like, oh, hey.
And that's how you know that there was immediate trust, because like,
and I remember the text message. She was trying to be funny, and she was like, hey, you, it's me, Holly Berry.
Yeah.
I was like, is that how people shoot their shots?
Maybe, I guess. I don't know. But
that was funny.
That was hilarious. We laughed about it the whole rest of the ride.
I was like, whoa. So every now and again I think about that and I chuckle. But yeah. So we left, we hung out. I don't like to judge people. You shouldn't judge people. Especially because as women, you know, we get judged a lot.
Here we go.
If you're an adult and you're grown and you're consenting, you shouldn't be judged. But back then I was a different person. I was a big judger. And I did judge Jimmy because he was very easy. One drink and, you know, he just gave it up. No self-respect. No, let me wait. Let me hold off. None of that. Just... wasn't expecting that.
That's how you want to remember it. I'm gonna just let you continue to remember it that way. 13, 14 years later, like, I'm gonna let you remember it the way that you want to remember it.
Mm-hmm. Love you too, Carrie. But yeah.
So
and the rest is history.
Pretty much. So the next day, the morning after, we were awakened by fire alarms at the hotel, because somebody obviously did something stupid or had an accident or whatever. And that's when I learned about a different side of Adela. One that is not a morning person without her coffee. So we didn't really have much conversation, engaging conversation. It was more or less, all right, let's, you know, get up and, you know, get some breakfast and you know, I had to take her back to the Bronx or whatever. So she was like, hey, before we do anything, I need to run me over to Dunkin' Donuts real quick.
Don't talk to me.
And I was like, felt very cold, you know.
I was very cold.
And so we get the Dunkin' Donuts, she get that coffee, few sips, and then I kind of like seen this like aura or just shift. And she was like, hey baby, who the fuck are you? like what the hell is going on? She's like, listen, if we want to be together, you need to know a few things. And one of them is, don't say much to me in the mornings. Until I have some coffee. I thought she was playing. But this became a reoccurring thing throughout our relationship.
From the beginning, very honest.
And like every now and again, I have to remind myself, I can't say much to her until she's gone and have her damn coffee. You know, every now and again I'll slip up and I'll try to have
He'll be like, yeah, babe, so I was reading this article on Einstein and the theory of...
Yeah. But I learned quick. Yeah. Well, not quick. Because it all depends on where my mind is at. Because if I'm like really deep in thought and thinking about things, like and then I'll hear couple of key reactions, and it's like, oh shit, she's not listening to me. Let me shut up.
My automated response system.
Automated response system. Let me shut up.
Have a conversation with me. Go ahead, have a conversation with me.
So, I was thinking about when James Baldwin was on the show, and he was talking about how how folks don't really understand or respect the value that Black folk bring to the world, and it was really engaging. Like, he went back and forth with this dude, and I was just like, wow, you giving it to him, man. Just let him know this.
Crazy, really?
So those 3 or 4 phrases, all part of her automated response system. I didn't pick up on that until like year 4 or 5. So this is like, no, I didn't pick up on that until
we had Lola already.
We had Lola,
picked up on it, so it was like year 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5, 6. Yeah, 5, 6, and like going through life like that with her, and not realizing, oh, she
has an automated response system of 5 phrases when she is not listening.
When she's not listening, yeah, and I have to catch myself when I start talking, because you have to understand, like, I don't always look at her when I speak to her. Like, I be doing other things, like we be in the same room, and then I'll start, saying some things, and then all of a sudden, I'll get the oh yeah, wow,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. And it's not until I hear that's crazy that this mom ain't even listening. Cause she's probably like this,
sending an email or fixing something or
So I just be sitting there sometimes and one time I just stood there and looked, and I was just saying things just to see if she was going to look up and even acknowledge, and she didn't. So I was just like, and the show, okay, so what was you saying? I just said a whole, you know what? I'm not repeating myself. I ain't doing all that with you.
He could just be like, hey, babe, you got a minute? I'd love to. No, he just starts talking.
I do just start talking.
I'm doing something. It's okay, though.
I feel like sometimes, talking to your husband, what's more important than that? In my mind, Debo.
Oh, you say that in your mind? Oh.
I ain't fucking stupid.
What's more important than that?
I ain't fucking stupid. I don't say that type of thing to her. Like, I don't think there's been many times in our relationship.
How many like screaming arguments have we had?
Screaming?
Like where we yell at each other.
Once?
Maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe once.
Coffee is more important. Thank you.
Maybe once.
Thank you. Maybe once. We're not that couple.
We've had some disagreements. But never to the point to where we like raise our voice at each other. You ain't shit, and we've never done that. It's always that's fucked up.
Or maybe in our heads.
Jimmy's
very smart. He will answer this. I ask him this question every so often. I'll just like bring it up to him, and he refuses to answer it, or he'll just say no, never. But I know it's not true, and I really want to hear the answer. So maybe today we'll get the answer. But I know that there are times where I will do something or say something, or I'm in a certain mood, and I'm like, you be calling me all kinds of bitches in your head, don't you? Because he does not disrespect. Like, we'll joke around and call each other things, but like in seriousness, like he's never called me out of my name, and vice versa. Like, I don't call him, we don't do that. But sometimes like
she'll call me a piece of shit though.
But not seriously.
Not seriously, though.
Like, I'd be like, that was a real piece of shit thing. You're a real piece of shit for that one, Jimmy. Like, in fun, right? And we know our boundaries and our limits and, like, what not to do and say. But I'm pretty sure you have to have... Because there are times where, like, you'll do something, and in my head, you be a barrel of motherfuckers in my head. There has to be times where you be calling me all kinds of bitches in your head.
Not bitches, but you ain't worth a fuck. Like this motherfucker. But you've never in my mind been a bitch.
Really?
It's like there's some shit that you say like that's fucked up, yo. But it's like never like I can't stand this. Like nah.
Cause sometimes your face, buddy, I'll be like, oh, he's calling me something right now.
Yeah, probably this motherfucker right here. Like
Yeah.
it's probably this face I'll be
Yeah, and you nod your head and you go back to doing whatever you was doing, and I'll be like, he's calling me a bitch right now.
I mean, you know.
Sometimes I've even like where I'll see him make the face, and I'll be like, go ahead and say it. Say it out loud. And he does that. Just like that. He'd be like, I'm like, no, you can say it. Go ahead. I'm not even gonna get mad.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
Just say it.
Yeah, I'm fucking stupid, right?
And he'd be like, but I know he thinks it sometimes.
Cause she'll keep it right here, right? And then the right moment to pop up, and that shit'll get uploaded to the front. Remember that fucking time? I ain't give her extra ammunition. She has plenty of ammunition already. I don't need to give her extra ammunition.
What ammunition do I have? What are you talking about?
The little goofy shit I do all the time.
Yeah. Christ. Yeah.
Goofy shit, the absent-minded things that I do. Like I'm far from a perfect individual.
Mm-hmm.
Far from it. In fact, I'm so much of an imperfect individual. Before we got married, I had to go to Germany for a trip. Right?
We don't have to tell this story.
Oh, why not?
I don't want to tell this story.
What?
I don't want to tell it.
See, no. We're gonna talk about it, right? Because this is one of those things where it's like misperception, right?
I don't want to tell this story. We'll save it for another day.
You want to save that for another day?
Yeah, we'll save that for another day. Because I still get mad. And I don't want to, like, throw nothing at you. Whew. Whoo-wee.
But it's like,
all right, anyway.
It happened on fucking wedding day. I think about that shit every fucking year because it's like it's almost like, oh, dude, grand opening, grand closing. Be like,
listen, we got married and came home and almost went right back. Never mind. Never mind. I know this because I'm going back to my mama's.
Yeah, shit was funny.
Good times.
But we thugged it out, man.
Been through some things.
We talk about it very often. How we came from humbling beginnings as a couple. Because like that first year after we got engaged, she was still living in New York. And I would still go up there. I would go up there frequently. Probably once a month, I'll try to make it up there and spend some time with her. And yeah, man, like it was.
We was broke.
So
broke.
So here's the thing, right? Because I was in school, I was getting my disability, and I was earning a decent paycheck. So all three of those, I presented very well. It's one of those presentation things. I presented very well because I was able to take care of her. I was able to take care of myself. I was able to do a whole bunch of things, right? And this lasted, like prior to that, that was just how my life was. But then, like, we got together, it continued on. I'd shower her with all types of different things, and because like I'm not with her, so maybe I can.
And he didn't have to do this.
I didn't. I just did it out of I want to do this for my woman. It's my woman. I want to spoil her a little bit. So, July 2011, drive up, bring on down. This is probably one of the parts where points in the story where she probably was like, "What am I getting myself into?" Because we at the time we lived in Grovetown, Georgia. In Grovetown, Georgia, circa 2011, there wasn't a damn thing there. I mean, it's still not a whole bunch there, but it's way built up than
The
what
Golden
it is.
Pantry.
Yeah, the Golden Pantry there. There was a KFC.
Domino's.
There was a Domino's Pizza. There was a Hollywood Video on the corner.
Supermarket.
There was the IGA.
Guaranteed low prices.
Food Lion.
IGA.
But
I don't know if Food Lion has it.
But not much of anything else in Grovetown. Like when you venture out, like you can, there's everything. Augusta has a lot of stuff. But Grovetown,
Augusta has a lot of stuff. If you are from Augusta,
from Augusta, yeah.
If you're from New York, Augusta doesn't have shit, and Grovetown has even less shit.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And I was ready to go back home.
And you also have to take into consideration that I was still traveling a lot for work. So I brought her down and I'd be out on the road for 2 weeks at a time. And there's nothing for her to do, really. Anything. So yeah, there was probably some rather contentious points and some times where she probably was reconsidering. And then, on top of that, there was some things that had went down that, kind of ate at my bread. And it created an interesting dynamic. So it got to the point it was like, shit, I need to ensure that I don't want to start our marriage out, our relationship out, extra jacked up. So I need some bread. I had to go to Afghanistan. Right? And that helped. That helped a lot, actually. Not from a relationship building standpoint, because we was together at that point a year. Then we had got married, and then 2 months after we got married, out Afghanistan.
Yep.
So, and I think we've shared that story about me going to Afghanistan and her worried and all this other shit, and I call her.
Go to Afghanistan. Now, I am in shambles. And that's rare because I don't do shambles. I'm very Timberlands, What I'm not going to do is fall apart. In shambles, and it wasn't necessarily him leaving, because I knew once he got there, you were surrounded by how many troops?
Thousands, tens
of thousands of troops, right? I was just really, really nervous and anxious about the travel from here to Afghanistan. That's where I was really kind of anxious and worried. And I'm like, please call me, when you can, let me know where you are in your journey. I'm on the sofa crying, watching Grey's Anatomy on Netflix. I was just waiting for this call, waiting and waiting and waiting. And he finally calls me, and I wipe my face, and I, grab the phone, and he's Skyping me from a hot tub with champagne in the presidential suite?
No, this was the second time.
Where did they put you?
They didn't put me anywhere the first time, because the first time I had to take the military flight.
Oh, the first time was when you called me, and I was like, yeah, I was
TGI Fridays.
I was like,
at the Boardwalk.
He's like, yeah, oh, I made it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you made it, and I'm picturing him, I'm picturing sandstorms and camels and soldiers and war, and he's like, all right, I just want to let you know I made it. I'm going to TGI Fridays now. I said, the fuck? I said, you're going where? Yeah, TGI, they got a TGI.
Popeyes.
Hey, Gigi.
Burger King.
Fucking a Smoothie Shack.
Smoothie Shack. PX. It was the the main thing was built up. It was built up. So like,
I'm thinking Indiana Jones.
nah, when you go outside the wire, yeah, it's all that camels and all types of other stuff. But inside the wire, nah, it was as comfortable as you could get.
Soon as he said TGI Fridays, and I said, okay, I'll talk to you later. And we hung up that phone. Remember when I said, I'm sure you've called me the B word in your head? That was one of the times where he was like a barrel of motherfuckers in my head.
Yeah.
That still wasn't as bad as when he went back to Afghanistan the second time. And I knew better than to worry, but you can't help it. You worry. And he FaceTimed me from a hot tub in Dubai, drinking champagne in what was the presidential suite, right?
It was
The presidential suite.
Yeah.
He had a layover.
JW Marriott. Boy, that was awesome. And they didn't charge me like the presidential. They charged me the per diem rate. So I got to stay, but it was only for 8 hours. But still, it was a comfortable 8 hours. A comfortable 8-hour layover in the presidential suite. JW Marriott Dubai.
I said, are you in a hot tub?
Like, yeah.
Bubbles going and everything.
Got champagne. I was all right. I didn't go to sleep at all. But it was relaxing before I had to go, go back to the post area operation.
Anyway, but yeah. And then I met Miss Bonnie.
You met Bonnie the first go.
Yeah, right?
So the first part of 2012. So this is 2012 that we're in. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is 2012 then because I was in Afghanistan in 2012. So this is 2012 where she met Miss Bonnie. So let me tell you a little bit about Miss Bonnie too, because I don't think I really said much.
Mm-mm.
But like, so I lived in that house. I purchased that house 2009, May 2009. And I was barely home because I was always traveling. So Miss Bonnie, bless her heart, she would see my grass in the front yard, get a little high. So when she would cut her grass, she would cut into my grass just so it could present a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was one of those 2 of those trips I came back and, her and I, we would see each other, going to get the mail or what have you, and we would have extended conversation. And it was always a beautiful thing to have, a few minutes to talk to Miss Bonnie because she's, oh God, she's just a beautiful spirit. And, she had come down and they met briefly.
It's like, hey, because New Yorker.
Yeah.
I don't need to know you.
By the way, when I did first move her down here and, started unpacking and unloading and all this other stuff, vehicle passed by, honk. I was like, what's going on? And her, so you know everybody around here. Who this heifer that you waving at? I was like,
oh, so you just wave like
Adela, we are in the South and we speak to our neighbors. We're cordial.
Oh. Okay. I get it now.
So,
because I'm like, why is she waving at you? Why is she smiling like that? Why did she honk? Did you move me down here to get me like, I don't do mess. Like, what is happening? Because put the shit back in the truck and take me home. But Southern hospitality.
Like, you have to understand. I've this year makes 24 years that I've lived in Georgia. So like, I'm kind of a Southern boy, but New York comes out of me a lot.
Y'all was both about to get beat up in that driveway.
Yeah,
both you and her. But go ahead.
There was that. But Miss Bonnie, man, like,
yeah.
So she, when I left, and I kind of told her, I was like, hey, I'm going to Afghanistan. So like every now and again, if you happen to see my wife out there, just.
And me, why would you tell her that? I don't want to talk to her.
It was more so for myself because I knew who Bonnie was. I knew how much of a great person that she was. That I was like, hey,
Yeah.
So that's how it all came to be. Like I it was one of those, I ain't gonna say chance encounters, but it was one of those things that y'all kind of like locked eyes and
At the mailbox, and she asked about you, and then she said, "Well, how are you doing over there?" And I said, "I'm doing okay." And she said, "You know that little bun," and she looked at me. She was like, "I don't think you are." And I wasn't. I was literally like home watching a bunch of shows that make me sad and just mad because I'm here by myself in this place and there's nobody, and she saw right through it. I think a lot of that is just, she has the age and the experience. She's also a mother, a grandmother, and she's also a retired school principal. And when you're all of those things, especially the retired, once teacher, and then you come across different people, different situations, and you can pick up on things and read people. And she read me, honey, because I said, I'm doing fine, and she's like, "Oh, I don't think you are. Why don't you come have some coffee?" And in my head, I'm like, "What the fuck? I don't want to have. What do I have in common with a late '60s, early '70s, white woman, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, white woman from Battle Creek, Michigan. What do I have in common with you? Absolutely nothing. Why do I want to have coffee with you? I don't. But my mother didn't raise me to be mean and rude, right? So I'll go and be nice. Just get it over with. Don't have to do it ever again." Wrong. Probably the best cup of coffee and the best conversation I've ever had, with someone.
It's that whole thing. Don't judge a book by the cover.
Don't judge a book by its cover. And granted, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, racism is dead because me and Bonnie had coffee." No. It's very much a thing, and there are absolutely a lot of people who don't mean you well, and kind of want the division and the divisiveness. But in that moment, in that situation, in that relationship, Bonnie wasn't one of those people. And I'm glad that I sort of let my guard down and didn't let I didn't lump everyone into one group, right? And keep myself from getting to know this person, because little did I know that relationship would actually birth what is now Lola Bean Yarn Co. So that was one hell of a lesson I learned there.
Applause, big shout to Miss
Bonnie.
I miss her.
Whew. Yeah. So you should actually give her another round of applause for keeping your marriage intact. Because if it wasn't for her, you'd have came back from Afghanistan. I'd have been in New York.
That's fair.
What social media was out there? Twitter? You'd have seen me on Twitter posting pictures from the club. Didn't I marry her? Yeah, well, you left me alone in Grovetown next to a golden pantry. Had to go. But yeah, man, and Miss Bonnie
introduced you to your I reintroduced.
Listen, at that point Jimmy would start calling and he'd be like, "Oh, I called, sorry, I was busy." Me and Miss Bonnie, she took me here, she took me there. We went to the peach, what do you call them? Like the orchards, like we went to the peach orchards, and she took me to see Lights of the South, and she took me here, and we drove here. Like, we were always out and about, and we were
out the senior center and stuff.
She took me to the senior center and introduced me to the woman who was in charge at the senior center, and I started volunteering at the senior center a lot. And would help the seniors and help in any way that I could. And
Grove.
There you go, Grove. Thank you. And those seniors helped me because they gave me purpose. I didn't have a whole lot to do. I didn't know people. So to be able to get out there, oh, my boyfriend, Mr. Roy. I miss Mr. Roy. But yeah, so I'd go to the senior center. Like, there were just so many things. Me and Bonnie wound up going on a road trip to Michigan.
Thelma and Louise.
Listen, We drove from Grovetown, Georgia to Michigan. She took me to Petoskey. She took me to uh her brother had a cabin right on the Osable River. She took me to what's the island? Mackinac.
Mackinac.
She took me to Mackinac Island so I could see the horses and the fudge. We went to I said Petoskey, where the pie company is. Is it Traverse or Traverse?
Traverse.
We went all over Michigan, honey. All over Michigan.
She really enjoyed herself.
Yeah, and we had. Let me tell you something about that cabin on the Osable River. So we're all just kind of like winding down for the evening, and I keep hearing something outside. And it was really bothering me because it was like this really weird noise. And I'm like, what is that? So I kind of step out of the room and her brother's there. And I'm like, I'm sorry, do you hear something or whatever? He's like, oh yeah, it's probably just a bear trying to get the food out of the squirrel feeder. What? There's a bear. This door that I'm standing in front of, there's a bear right on the other side of it.
You can't tell Miss Catastrophic or Captain Catastrophic certain things because
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Because the bear was gonna get so frustrated that it can't get the squirrel food, it's gonna bust the door down. And I'm the only black person there. And the black people always die first in the movies, right? So this bear is gonna eat me, you know, but whew, wild. No, but we did that. We went to
Did you go to your first
yarn shop? My
there?
first ever yarn shop. Miss Bonnie took me to, and I was amazed.
Because like before that, it was just y'all would
Michael's
go and get
and
Red Hearts.
Joann's, yeah. But as we were traveling up in Michigan, she took me to my first ever yarn shop, and but
changed her life.
Cashmere? Alpaca?
So you thinking, just everything is acrylic. Because even when she would tell me the stories about, Bonnie's teaching me how to crochet and knit and like, I'm thinking, because my grandmother used to have stuff, little dollies and things like that at the crib. And I remember it's like itchy ass. I don't know that itchy.
Itchy, scratchy yarn?
Yeah, you don't want to shit around my house. Like, out of here. But, she started letting me know. I was like, no, there's way more than that. And she started alpaca. Really?
Yep.
Like,
silk?
Really?
All the good stuff.
Yeah, I had no clue, but thank you, Bonnie, for putting on to that, because like it's been a very interesting journey.
Changed my life. So, who knew? Did you think this is where we'd be 13 years later? No. Where did you think we'd be?
I was hoping we'd still be together, obviously.
Yeah.
But like,
it's because I haven't met Anthony Hopkins yet. But go ahead.
But not where we are in terms of you having a business, us having the type of relationship that we have, we're continuing to grow and evolve, and like we keep pushing each other in a sense to be better. It's been incredible. Like, I look forward to it every day. Wake up, you still there? It's like, she ain't leave
me yet. Not yet. 47 more years, I'm out. Like, you're gonna look up year 47. I was gonna say you're gonna see my smoke, but you're gonna see my walker. You're gonna see me and my walker at 90. Where you going? Find me a new man.
What you doing? Where you going?
New man. But good times, man. We've had good times. We've had bad times.
We've had very challenging.
Happy times, sad times.
Very, yeah.
But
Yeah, the roller coasters. All most relationships are like that, right? It's very normal for there to be disagreement and things don't always go right. You're not always gonna vibe with the person that you with. Like that's if you have something like that, bless you, right? But I mean, for the most part, like that's it's not realistic to not have um I can
I
say adversity,
I
but
think for the most part, once you get to a certain point, or you have a really really, not that 13 years isn't a good deal of time, but like, once you're like in those like autumn years, and you've grown into, I mean, we always grow, but for the most part you've grown into who
mm,
it is, you were going to become.
mm,
Those things kind of become less frequent, like those types of, that tug of war and that. But if you're like really going through like life's changes and growing and developing and ever evolving, um you're gonna have those bumps. You're gonna have them. And we've had him. He does well. He does better with the bumps than I do. He's very sort of cool, calm, collected,
I try to
very
be.
logical, um, and will think things through. Where I'm more of a fly off the seat of my pants kind of gal. But we kind of even each other out, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's quite a bit of balance
Yeah.
because even in my logical state, um, it becomes a problem because structure. I'm not. Things got to be
Mm-hmm.
X. I have to. She's she's shown me and taught me how to be a little bit more open to
Sometimes you just got.
spot spot
Sometimes you just got to do shit.
spontaneity. Yeah.
Yes, planning. Obviously, you want to plan. You want to be prepared. But if you continuously like just plan and prepare, and everything has to be perfect, and I'm waiting for this piece and this and this and this, you're never gonna do the thing.
Goldilocks. Like I lived that. That was my life. Like everything had to be just right before I. Now it's like if it ain't got to be just right. It's like just have to have the will
Hmm.
to want to get some shit done. And if I fail, if I mess up, knowing that I have a partner.
But that's what I told him when he came home and he saw I spent all that money on all of this equipment. I died a couple of skeins with food coloring. That's it. A couple of skates. He came home and I had citric acid.
Yeah,
I had dye, like real dye, not food coloring. I had machines on his countertops. Completely stopped cooking because I need to dye this yarn, right? And he's like, "Did you really just go out and get all this stuff? Like, are you nuts?" Not like I don't think you can do it, but like maybe we should have planned. You should have planned, or even seen if this is something you really like long term before you invested all of the. Get out my way. I'm doing this thing here. What's the worst that could happen? I fail. I find something else to do. The end.
and from that point on, it was like,
He stepped back and just let me do my thing.
and her. I made the first big investment
Into Lola Bean
into
Yarn
Lola
Co.
Bianco. So I purchased her first order of
Yarn.
bare yarn. That's how committed. Like, all right, if you want to do this, that planted the seed, and Jesus Christ. So like, even in all of that, right? Because when she started with the yarn stuff, I had no clue that yarn fiber folk got down the way that they got down. She would tell me these stories. She would tell me the things that were going on in these little groups and all of that
Crafting
stuff.
groups and
I'm like,
yeah.
what?
I'm like, buddy, it's a soap opera.
Listen, I was like, whatever. It can't be that serious till I
Okay.
started looking at and reading the things for myself. I was like, wow, yeah. Like there was drama. And you know, yeah. There's a lot of jam, a lot of folks that and thankfully there's still a lot of those folks that are still
Listen,
in the orbit
there
today,
are
but there's a lot of folks that aren't,
that
and
didn't make it. Listen, I kept getting kicked out of groups because no, we don't want to see your Confederate flag crochet blanket. Fuck your blanket. And I used to say, it sounds harsh and it sounds horrible, but like it's jarring and it's annoying.
yeah.
Oh look, I just knit a gollywog doll. And it reminds me of my nan, and it used to be on the grape jam back in the. Fuck your doll. That ugly doll. Your doll is ugly. And if you think that that is appropriate, and if you think it's not offensive and it's not hurtful to people, you're an ugly person on the inside too.
Yeah, she was very raw.
I used to get kicked out. Listen,
very raw in those early days.
I there was nothing refined. There was nothing, ill, gross. Your blanket is ugly. I hope a dog poops on. Like, I would say some things.
Hey, y'all gotta understand, she was still like not that far removed from living in New York and just having to be a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
So like she just was who she was, and she's learned over time that like I can still be who I am, but
it's not. No, I think what I've learned is that not every single thing deserves or warrants a reaction or my attention.
Yeah,
right?
That's true too.
Because if I said something about every single thing, that's all I'd be doing 24/7. And I got other shit to do. But so people think, a lot of people are under the impression, like they'll say things like, oh, Jimmy and Adela only speak up about social justice issues because it gives them attention and because of 2019. Bitch, I've been speaking about this stuff, I want to say, since like the age of 12 or 13. I've been like, yeah, this is wrong, this is trash, that's like, so it's not new for me. None of this is new. I've been kicked out of groups. I've been called things. I could tell y'all stories about things I've seen some of y'all's favorites do before they even knew, before I was even a thing, how I was treated or saw them treat. I could tell y'all some things. I'm saving it for the book. When I do finally retire, I'm writing a book, and I'm not. Everybody's gonna be suing me because I'm spilling all the beans.
No holds barred.
No, none. But we've been doing this for a very long time. This isn't new.
That's good.
I think we're doing all right.
We're doing phenomenal.
I don't know if I'd say phenomenal.
No, we are considering.
Yeah.
We're doing phenomenal.
But yeah, so it's amazing.
Just how much growth. Both of us, because like
it just always trips me out how like I had those blinders, right? And you can't even I don't even want to call them blinders, like when Miss Bonnie had like offered me tea or whatever the case may be. It was more of like a safety precaution, like me saying no. Because at that point, based on like a lot of my experiences growing up in Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas, white people weren't safe. They weren't safe. I'm sorry, they weren't safe. White people were not safe based on a lot of the experiences that I had. And had I not sort of looked past that in that one situation, because a lot of white people still ain't safe, but sort of looked past that, I wouldn't have had sort of the platform that I have now to speak up for other people who are in really horrible situations. I think about that a lot. Like, it's like a full circle kind. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's
really interesting.
It's growth.
Is that what that is?
It's realizing that, like you said, can't put everybody in a box.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that are genuine, authentic,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's people that present and they're not genuine and they're not authentic. They
Mm-hmm.
just do enough to keep people at bay
Yeah.
or present themselves in a way that's gonna be palatable
Mm.
in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want no problems. I don't want no beef. I'm this, and but behind closed doors, they're a completely different individual.
You could
And
put a camera in this house, and nobody who has been following us would be surprised at what they see and hear.
because the same way we riff on these lives and the
Y'all
content
probably
that we
be
post.
upset and say, "Why don't you bring more of yourselves to the forefront?" You know, because
Nah, the world really isn't ready for the nah. Plus, like at the end of the day, like it's not anybody else's business what we do. You
I
know,
don't mean putting our actual business.
we give
With
no,
just,
no, no, no. I'm saying like the totality of everything that we talk about and views and all this other stuff. Like nah, like
Yeah.
we're very authentic and we're very genuine. I mean, you can see by our actions what we're into. Um, that said, like there's something we could probably go a little bit harder, I think, than we do. But
Thank you.
at the same time, it's like, nah, we're good. We're good where we are, and the balance because like it would become all encompassing and all consuming,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that would be detrimental to our individual.
I'm just waiting for the
mental health.
day that I hit the lotto, so I can tell some people how I really feel about them. That's all.
Well, the people that you
The
already
day-
don't fuck with.
the day- The day that I hit the lotto, you watch.
You talk about the people that you don't already fuck with.
I mean, I don't mess with a lot of people anymore,
That's
but
true.
people don't know why.
Okay, I see where you're going.
You
with that one.
understand?
Yeah.
Remember when y'all? How come you don't such and such? I thought you adored her. And so let me tell y'all what's really happened. But I gotta get the money first. So when I hit the lotto, if y'all gonna wake up one day and y'all gonna look on Instagram and you're gonna see a picture of a lotto ticket on my grid. Make sure as soon as you see that picture, you turn on notifications everywhere. Turn them on Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm posting. I'm telling it all everywhere. So y'all just make sure. Remember, lotto ticket on my grid. It's time. And I have receipts. But anyway, no. So I don't know. We just thought that we would kind of stream a little bit, try to get
more content on YouTube.
more content, not just more content, but just sort of get a little more comfortable and familiar in this
with this setting
space, and thought it would be fun to hop on and talk about how we met, considering that today is our 13th wedding anniversary. So
shout for that.
Gigi, look at my shirt. You didn't see my shirt. Read it out loud, Jimmy.
I'm actually not funny. I'm just really mean and people think I'm joking.
I love this sweater. Wait, is this a... Yes.
Yeah.
This is a brand new line. Yes.
Oh man. So
the other live is up from day before yesterday, right? Was it yesterday?
Which one?
When Lola decided that it was the Lola show. Day before yesterday, no?
Day before yesterday?
Yeah, that one's up where we talked about Magpie Fibers and Gigi and the Grocery Girls.
And remiss because we didn't talk about
Dana
and our afternoon with Dana. Dr. Williams. I love her to death. Let me start by saying that she is a very incredible and accomplished individual. Like, cause like beyond, I haven't really interacted with her outside of what we do or what have you. I follow the things that she does, and she lets me know her journey. She Adela has shared with me her journey because they're very rather close. So she shared things, but I've never like sat down and had a full on conversation with Dana outside of when we did the Make Us for Kamala stuff. But like, I already had a huge amount of respect for her, like stratosphere right now, like incredible individual, and then I was very happy that we were able to have a intimate moment with her, and have some lunch or brunch, and just kind of like going back and forth about life and all types of other things. So it was great. That was part of our Maryland weekend
that we didn't get to talk about on the first live,
but that was definitely a highlight of the weekend, to be able to spend time with Dana. So big shout to Dana.
I don't give a shit about what he said.
That's why I had to get mine out of the way first.
I don't give a shit about what he just said. Do me and Dana have conversations? Yes. Do we have each other's phone numbers? Yes. Do we share funny banter and back and forth? We do. Has she sent me messages and sort of shared bits and pieces of herself when it comes to grief because of my... Absolutely. Do I like her? Absolutely not. Okay? Absolutely not. She eats candy corn. She eats candy corn. She brought my kid freeze-dried candy corn to this brunch that Jimmy was so happy to have, right? So who does that? That's like going to brunch with somebody. Here's some meth. Like, who brings freeze-dried candy corn to somebody's kid? Dana. The only reason I follow Dana is because I love Jelly Bean and Kiwi, her dogs. I don't even follow Dana for Dana. Okay? You ask her to make a sweater for you? No. I've watched her make like 60 different sweaters for people, right? Oh, so what if it's her family? I don't care if it's her husband. I thought I was important, in her life, but clearly, so all that, I enjoyed, and she's a doctor. I tried to call her job and tell them to take her doctorates back. I even reached out because she does a lot of collaboration work with Modern Daily Knitting. And I had asked Kay Gardner, Ann and Kay from Modern Daily Knitting, I had asked them something. I think it had to do with Nash Yarn Fest, where I wanted to know if it would be okay for me to do something or whatever. And Kay understood that I was having like some issues and needed a little more time to take care of something because of the storm, but also because of the harassment that I had been receiving from Dana. Can you imagine you come out of a hurricane and somebody sends a picture to your phone of them drinking out of this little candy corn cup, talking about, I just wanted you to know I was thinking of you? First of all, grow up. Drink out of a real cup like a normal grown-up adult. But anyway, so I had to be really frank. Let me find it. Hold on. I had to be really honest with Kay, right? So she said she answered my question. Kay said, "You have a lot on your mind or on your shoulders right now, and not to mention the whole candy corn thing." So I asked Kay from Modern Daily, and this is I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up.
Shit.
Jimmy, did I is this not am I not reading what I
Did y'all know she loved candy corn? If not, you really should
you're
reconsider.
not reading it the way it should be read. So my text message to Kay, my DM to Kay was because she
You
mentioned
want me
the
to read
candy
it
corn.
you want me to read it in a different
No, I'm
voice?
gonna read
You
it.
got it?
I said, "Did y'all know she loved candy corn?" Talking about Dana. If not,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
you really should reconsider working with her now that you know. Right? Because if she hid it from you, who does that? You need to really reconsider your working relationship. Now, I've done, some things with Modern Daily Knitting in terms of like yarn and stuff. Love them to death, right? And I said, but if you did know, right? If you and Anne knew and you hired her, or not even hired her, but collaborate with her willingly, I may have to reconsider working with y'all.
And like these are some of the little things that she didn't know about me in our relationship. Like I've since given up candy corn. Like I've given up a considerable amount of the things that I used to consume. Candy corn being like one of them. Like when she found out that I loved candy corn as much as I did, you would have sworn that I did call her a B, like, and said she wasn't worth anything to her face. Because I would like I'd sit there and eat a whole bag of candy corn in one sitting.
Sir, that is disgusting. Dana. And just to let y'all know, like, I'm not a backstabbing type of person, right? I am if I consider you a friend, I told Dana I forgot to talk about our lunch on the first YouTube, but I'm definitely going to say bad things about you on the next one, and I will send you the link. I will send you the link so you can watch it, because I don't say nothing behind your back. I say it to your face.
And she does, like, they go back and forth pretty regularly.
Y'all, I look like Tom Hanks and Castaway coming out of that hurricane.
Oh, God.
Tom Hanks. Do you hear me? Coming out of that hurricane.
She said she in the car and you want to talk about her.
She says she's in the car and now you want to... I'll FaceTime her and repeat everything I just said. And she sends me... Can y'all see that? She sends me this. Can you imagine? You've been fighting for your life. You've been fighting for gasoline. You've been fighting for ice. You've been fighting for your life, keeping trees from falling on your house. And your friend says, oh, now that you have Wi-Fi, hey, who does that? Or her little raggedy candy corn cup. I hope it falls apart. I really do. But anyway, all of that to say, I love Dana. I love Dana. I love our banter. I love our jokes. And she is a brilliant and phenomenal Black woman who is just educated and so down to earth.
Very.
And if I ever had like a question or didn't understand something, or there have been times where people have done like really terrible things, in this community, that I've kind of had to deal with. And she, you're not alone. This isn't new. People been doing this for however long, and you know, she just a great source of like inspiration, um, and just a friend.
Yeah.
So I absolutely had to reach out to her before we went to Maryland, just to see if she'd be around, because I wanted to hug her neck.
Yeah.
Because I have been struggling a whole lot. I'm still struggling like with grief and stuff, and maybe I'd post something or like put something in my stories, and she'd share something that she's just a friend, and I needed to hug her neck.
Yeah.
And just sort of like thank her, and let her know that I love her to death. And that's what I was aiming to do, until she fucking showed up with candy corn. Until she showed up with candy corn. And then it was like, oh.
She chose violence that day for you.
And then, she's like, come on, we're going to take a picture. Lola, hold up the candy corn. What the why? But, okay. Shout out to Dana.
Oh, man.
Dr. Dana.
Dr. Dana.
And we love you. The Lola Bean Yarn Co team loves you to the moon and back.
Absolutely.
But I guess we should end it there, right? So you can make dinner.
Yes, I do have to.
Jimmy's making scalloped potatoes, steak, and Brussels sprouts.
Yep. Got bone-in ribeye.
Bone-in ribeye. That's
bone-in ribeye.
Our anniversary dinner. Clear throat. When I buy some Lola Bean yarn, sorry, just keeping it real. I wasn't able to support early this year, but I'm ready to receive a blessing of your yarn. Amen, amen, amen. Let the church say amen.
Don't we still got yarn on that?
Yeah, we have yarn on the website. There's ready to ship. I gotta take the other pre-order down. Forgot about that. But yeah, we just thought we'd come and make a little content, hang out, practice, talk about how we met. And Dana. So now I'm going to go while Jimmy makes dinner. I'm going to watch this YouTube over and find all the things I said about Dana and make a compilation so I can post them on Instagram, and tag her
and let her know how she feels,
how I feel, because I'm not a punk and I don't talk about people behind their backs. Okay.
And just so y'all know, they literally had that conversation when we were eating brunch.
I let her know.
So
this was gonna happen. Tell her all the time when she harasses me, because that's what it is. It's harassment. It's harassment. So maybe this will put an end to it, a little quell to it.
Nah.
Maybe it'll make it worse. I don't know.
I think it's gonna get. Yeah.
She's making candy corn, like, what did she call them? Little nasty teas that she's making with the candy corn syrup.
Oh, the candy corn syrup.
Espresso.
Yeah, candy corn espresso. Yeah. If I was still eating candy corn, I probably would
be divorced. See, I finished it for you.
But I don't.
I finished it.
Yeah,
if I was still eating candy corn,
well, I would be divorced. I guess, yeah.
The end. No, that's it. Ya. El fin. Finished. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go. Thanks for hanging out with us. Again, we're gonna leave this up. If anybody wants to come, and these will probably get a little shorter.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't go hour and a half every time.
Yeah.
Come on YouTube.
Yeah. So.
But there'll also be filler content in between. We'll do some pre-recorded stuff, because we have a decent, not really decent, but we have a little following. We realize how many people actually follow us on YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed to our channel,
it's like over 3,000 people. It's like 3.24K, right? Followers here on YouTube. And I was laughing because I'm like, a lot of that happened when the drama of last year happened.
That's
and I said,
kind of true.
How disappointed are these people going to be when it's like, yeah, we signed up to their YouTube channel because it's some drama, it's some tea going on over there, only to find us talking about fucking candy corn and like little road trips to yarn shops.
Man.
Disappointing for you. But anyway, all right, we're going to go. Love y'all. Have a good evening. I hope you have a great start to your week. I really, really do, because it's hard out there.
Nah, it's challenging.
Yeah, it's challenging. Very. Dana's. I just realized Dana said she was in a car. They wouldn't have to stop for gas. She could just put the fucking candy corn in the tank of the car because it's made out of gas and asbestos and candle wax and sugar, and not even new sugar. It's made out of like, you ever get sugar that's like old and it's all like clump, one big clump? That's how they make. Come in. That's how they make candy corn. Hello, Lola.
Hi.
Wanna come say hi?
Yeah,
We're getting ready to end it. Come.
Ready to end it.
Hello, Lola. Lola Bean.
I just wanted some watermelon.
Do we have watermelon?
Yeah, we do.
That's not about that. Get rid of that one.
No, that was for Sunny and Cher.
Yeah.
That watermelon, I forgot we even had it. We got to check the
Yeah.
date. We'll check it out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go now, cause what's today, Lola?
Sunday.
But what's today special? What's special about today?
It's mommy's daddy anniversary.
When did you start whispering?
If I
She
had
get all shy when she get
Hey.
in front of the camera.
Oh, what happened too? What happened earlier today in your mouth? Let me see.
What?
Didn't you lose something?
I lost my tooth.
Another tooth?
Mhm.
This
Wait,
is
when did this one come out of? That's how.
that's side. Tooth number 3. In
And
how many weeks?
One.
No,
Actually,
3.
1 day.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. In the last month, she's lost
3 teeth. I don't know if the tooth fairy's gonna have money. She might leave you like a note
So
or something that says I owe you or something.
We'll get at you later.
Or maybe she can like email you a gift card
Or
because you're bankrupted. Can you be still?
that's why her teeth be falling out. Oh,
All right,
man.
we're gonna go.
Yeah, we are.
Y'all have a good evening, and we will chat soon. All right, say bye. Wave.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Good stuff.
Did I ruin the lie?